So the first Greenland movie came out in 2020, right at the beginning of COVID. And so it wasn't a hit that maybe they thought it was going to be, and I'm not sure it was ever going to be a hit, but it was fun. That means we're getting a sequel, even though the first film didn't really have a box office performance to track. Nevertheless, the sequel's here. Hey everybody, I'm McBride, the movie guy, and today let's talk about Greenland 2 Migration.
We can't stay here, Ellie. There's no life from here.
The crater. Do you believe it's real?
They say that it could be humanity's last chance, but it is impossible to get you.
I promise you. I'm gonna get you to that crater.
In Greenland 2 Migration, we catch up with the Garrity family, played by Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin, and Roman Griffin Davis. Now, they've been living in the Greenland bunker after the world ended from the asteroid impact in the first movie. And they lived happily ever after, right? No, of course not. This is a disaster movie, so bring on those disasters. So we fast forward several years, and thanks to tectonic activity, their Greenland bunker is no longer safe. So Butler takes his family in search of a place that's rumored to be safe and maybe even prosperous. The problem, of course, is that he's not alone in this quest, so during his trip, he will have to face danger, both of the killer natural disaster, but also the dangerous human survivor types. So I was rewatching the first movie before checking out the sequel here, and there's a moment where they're flying into the Greenland bunker area, and one of the characters looks at the other one and goes, "Thank goodness we're safe, we made it." And I look at the watch and there's still 20 minutes left, and it's like, you idiot! Of course you're not safe. This is a disaster movie. This is supposed to be a series of one natural disaster after another the family's going to have to overcome. And that's kind of what we're getting here. But I'll tell you right now, I wish there were more natural disasters in this film. There are a few. I just didn't think there were really big set pieces that really got me excited about what's going on with this family versus Mother Nature. Now, the other thing that happens in that first movie, they have to fight against all these humans, these desperate crowds looking for a shelter. And almost all of the humans are dead this time around. So that you still have lots of human interactions, but it just doesn't feel quite as dangerous. So look, I appreciate that's the mechanics of what's actually happened in the story, but I could have used a little more, fighting against the humans, of fighting against Mother Nature. Quite frankly, I could have used a little more conflict, a little more danger to make this thing really hum. And on top of all that, the film does have some odd story chases. I mean, once again, the film's focused on this family and one man's struggle to keep them safe. I can appreciate that basic motivation, and I do think that Butler and Baccarin are solid actors here. They're good at playing this story. Plus, I will admit that in the first movie, I thought the young son, the kid that loses his insulin, I thought he was so annoying. And part of me was going, I shouldn't say this, but part of me was going, just leave him behind. He's more trouble than he's worth here. So they've changed the actor here. And you know what? The new actor is almost as annoying here, but not as quite. So I will give that as a plus point for this movie. But still, for a movie that's focused on the family, I must admit that I just didn't care that much about their struggle, mostly because I didn't really connect with this family. And if I'm being honest, I'm not really sure why they made this movie. I mean, the first one's pretty good as a basic human survival, natural disaster story. This one seems like they're making things up just to keep the story going. And the new stuff is kind of weird. I mean, like I said, the family stuff isn't very compelling. The action sequences are okay, I guess, but I could have used some more genuine peril to stoke my interest. And well, honestly, the movie's a little slow at times. So the bottom line here is the story is okay, but kind of basic. The special effects are fine, but nothing really eye-popping here. And the family is a little meh, and so are the action sequences. And like I said, it got a little slow for an hour and a half movie. That's a big problem. I give Greenland 2 Migration 2 stars out of 4. Didn't hate it, but it could have been a lot better. You may be saying, why did they make this movie? Is there anybody out there who thinks, oh man, I wish there was a Greenland movie sequel out in theaters? No, I don't think so. I think the producers thought, well, this one did pretty well on home streaming during COVID, so maybe there's a fan base. I'm not sure that many people saw it though, although I do suspect that a lot of people are watching it, like I did, right before going to see this movie to see what all the fuss is about. But it just seems like kind of a cash grab. And, January is kind of notable for being a dumping ground for movies. This one kind of feels like a dumping ground film. So, like I said, didn't hate it, just didn't think it was as cool as I had hoped it would be, considering that I thought that the first Greenland movie was pretty good. Hey, but that's me. What do you think? Feel free to comment below. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you get these movie guy reviews just as soon as they come out. And subscribe to our podcast. It's called Two Movie Guys. And we cover all of the week's big new movies. Just search for Two Movie Guys wherever you get your podcasts. So January is kind of notable as being a month where producers release films that they don't have the highest expectations for. Like I said, kind of a dumping ground. But also it's notable for being a time when filmmakers who have films that are, they have Oscar hopes, they get released here trying to stoke the audiences. And that's what we're going to talk about next. There's a new film called Is This Thing On? We'll see you then. Bye.